Child, Martell then flambéed, charbroiled, and deep fried Maurice ass in this damn episode. And then Kimmy, you out here looking like a pink, a pink penguin wearing girl. First of all, you look the fool with them feathers on in the summertime. And you just sat there and let them literally play in your face, literally snickling and giggling at the table about the Harry Hines girl. So on this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, they break down the whole Harry Hines girl and da-da-da-da-da. And now that I think about it, when we first met Arion, I'm going to be respectful. When we first met Arion, didn't she tell us y'all was down in Atlanta with some big bags? I believe that's where we first got that from. So the Harry Hines girl is not too far behind them messing with her, because maybe Marceau just like those types of girlies. Tisha, why you out here trying to lose weight and he cheating with big bags? I don't know, friend. I don't know. Anyway, welcome back, friend. We finna talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville real quick. I tried to get this out to y'all sooner, exactly, but I decided to record a few videos. So you will get another video from me in just about a minute. So make sure your notifications on. We're gonna talk a little shit today since I got a little time. So get you a little cocktail. I'm drinking Gatorade because I had a great time last night and I need to restore my energy, exactly, and take my butt to the gym. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about this episode, friend. Did y'all like the episode? Are y'all still watching? People keep talking about how it's gonna get good. I think this episode was better than the other episodes, I guess, child. So anyway, so this is like a continuation of what happened in the last episode. Tisha storms out with her big hair or whatever. She comes back with her leather dress in the summertime. I like her dress though. I like the dress though. I like this look on Tisha. So she come back in to continue the conversation with Miss Nell. Carlos was in the comments like, no, I did not call her and tell her to go finish the scene. Or production or somebody did. Somebody told Tisha, twirl your ass right back in that cafe and order you some crumpets because you need to continue having this conversation. So Tisha comes back. So Tisha like, don't yell at me, don't yell at me. Miss Nell's like, I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling. Don't yell at me, don't yell at me. I'm not yelling. Bitch, she wasn't yelling at you. Unless they edited something out, it's giving gaslighting. It's giving Tisha finally learned from Marceau gaslighting her all of these years. But whatever. So they continue the conversation. Tisha's talking about how people always coming for her marriage for years and years and years. They came after my marriage. Anyway, so we get all of these flashbacks of the backstory, him in the damn, on the picture with the big back, the 20 girlfriends, just all of the rumors we've heard and all of the things. Then they talk about the Atlanta thing. We see Tisha in the car and Marceau is like, yes, I went to Atlanta. I had dinner with a friend. Or he said he was with a friend. And she like, what friend? And then he like, Chris Fletcher. Let's be clear. Even if he had dinner with Chris Fletcher, Marceau was in Atlanta on his own accord. He wasn't in Atlanta because of Chris Fletcher, because we know now that Chris Fletcher was in Atlanta because Miss Nell was getting her titties done. Didn't Miss Nell just tell us that on the Carlos King thing? So, baby, your husband, just like he was in Africa, he was in Atlanta on his own accord, probably with some big booty, big back, whatever. Marceau said he had 20 girlfriends. Maybe he got one in Atlanta, one Harry Hines girl, a few in Vegas. We don't know. This all a legend in my opinion. But I guess. Anyway, so Nell tells us that she ain't doing no more mentoring. Her and Tisha can start off as friends and try to get it together. And then Nell tells us she a certified life coach. I can see that because she own a daycare. My only thing is, bitch, you can't life coach all of your friends. Sometimes we just friends, not a life coach. Everybody that got cheated on is not getting mentored by Miss Nell. Are you the official Rashida life coach? Girl, I don't know. Let me move on. Anyway, so then we get to Kimmy and Maurice. Maurice goes into Kimmy's office he wants to discuss Martell. Kimmy fed up at this point. So it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. It was all cool when he was doing everything under the sun to Melody, and we shouldn't call Dandruff a peasant and all of these things. But now that he got Maurice out here embarrassing you, and now that it's embarrassing to you, now you want to take a stand. Kimmy is... I'm starting to dislike Kimmy a lot more than I dislike Tisha. And that says a lot. Exactly. What are Kimmy fans called? Crunchy Kimmys, crummy Kimmys, the crumettes. I don't know. Anyway, tell Kimmy fans, tell me what y'all called. Anyway, so Kimmy says that she feels like Martell feels like Maurice is an extension of Marceau. I do too, because Marceau is always the target, but Maurice, since you co-signing him and since you his brother, you responsible for his actions. If I get his ass, I'm getting your ass. Remember they was getting ready to fight at Madani? Well, they did fight at Madani. Maurice was the one who jumped off that fight, really. And I don't think Martell forgot that. So he already know if something really pop off, Maurice, you gonna side with your brother as he should. But that's why Maurice getting that ammo too, because bitch, I already know if it goes down, you gonna side with your brother. So remember, even at the field when they got the beefing and Maurice was all in his face trying to calm him down, Martell always be like, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. Because at the end of the day, you gonna side with your brother, and I know that. So I was about to say I'm Team Martell, child. Hold on, y'all. Let me shake the spirit of the devil man off of me. Anyway, so Kimmy also said that Martell feels like Martell is jealous, basically. And I kind of felt her on this because Martell always felt like he was the better husband out of the three. And he, you know, did a lot of stuff around the house. He's more active with his kids. He only had one girlfriend, which is Dandruff. And the Scott brothers was sleeping around. They didn't take, you know, allegedly wasn't doing what they had with the wife, da-da-da-da. So he feel like it's unfair that he lost his family and Marceau and Maurice still have theirs. I think that's true because remember when they were at that party and Martell and Marceau was getting into it? Martell was pissed off and Marceau kept saying, yeah, but I still got my family. Like, but I still got my wife. So whenever you get through, nigga, you just mad because I did it better. And I still got Tisha up in the house in a thong cooking my kids some food. So I do feel like Martell feels some type of way. Like, y'all was cracking jokes on me and all of this other shit, and y'all did way worse than me. How they still got their wife and their family, and I'm stuck over here with Dandruff, my other child, and, you know, she read with her finger as well. We fucked up out here. I'm trying to tell y'all, if Melody called, Martell is going to pack them bags, push that baby down, and leave out that house. I'm back. Move out the way. Move! And move him, too. So I can get out this damn door. Exactly. Anyway, so Kimmy ain't trying to hear shit he talking about or whatever. Then at the end of the little thing, she was like, that time you trying to spend talking to Martell, you can spend that time hanging out with Monster, your son. And Maurice glosses over that. Maurice always acts like he's so responsible and has like this high moral culpability or whatever the case may be. But you're trying to portray this image of being this type of man when you're not even doing the basics, which is spending time with your son, which you would think that right now he's in the fourth quarter. Yeah, he's getting ready to go to college and stuff. This is the most vital, you know, part of his life. Like, he's growing into manhood. He could either go this way or that way. You would think this is when you spend most of the time with him. And, you know, be trying to guide him. You're not trying to guide your 17, 18-year-old son, but you trying to guide a 42-year-old nigga? You're just trying to protect your image. Maurice is selfish above all. He is so selfish. Anyway, so then we get a scene at home with Tisha and Marceau and Macy. I talked about this the other day. She wants them to promote and market the products more. She's oiling down the baby's hair. The first time I've ever seen Tisha try to promote some products. They get into this favorite parent conversation and they had like a little confessional with Macy. It was cute. It was cute. I like the fact that they was going back and forth about being the favorite parent. And Macy was like, I don't know what's going on with him. It's been going down lately. And you could tell she does have like that same sort of energy that Marceau has, which I thought was cute. Then Macy leaves and they start talking about the whole Nell situation. Marceau poking fun of Miss Nell being a life coach. And then Tisha sneaky ass in their confessional. Tisha is a confessional, what do they call a gangster? Because even when she was with Miss Nell, she was like, who gave her that certificate? Talking about the life coach certificate. Bitch, who gave you them master's degrees? That I've been wanting to know that ever since we heard Tisha had a master's degree. What, from ICDC college? Had to be from ICDC. Had to be from an unaccredited university. Because ain't no way you been this stupid for this long, for 10 seasons, and you got a master's degree. Now, I did work on my master's at Colorado University, which ain't the most reputable. But given Tisha level of delusion, I don't know. I don't know, child. Anyway, so Marceau shades shade Miss Nell life coaching degree as well. I mean, life coaching certificate as well. Then he warned her about Destiny. He was like, man, I don't know Destiny. I don't know about Destiny. You might need to watch what you say to that dirty Detroit hoe. You might need to watch what the fuck you say. And then Tisha like, no, I don't think Destiny like that. Marceau, I said, watch what you say. Exactly. He trying to tell your ass that this bitch has loyalty to Martell. She gonna side with Martell and go with anything Martell talking about. Then they flash back to Destiny on that bench. Remember they was on that damn park bench? Y'all ain't damn one of them got a place to stay. We still don't know where. We still ain't seen Destiny house. Child, anyway, when they was on that damn park bench, I hated that scene on the park bench. Anyway, child, what happened? Yeah, so Destiny was basically siding with Martell and co-signing his thoughts. And I do think outside of the camera, Destiny co-signed a lot of what Martell does. Exactly, and she probably cool with Ariane. I'm sure if Ariane come on, it's gonna be Destiny, Martell, and Ariane. Ugh, Destiny is such a fake bitch. Anyway, so then we get to Nell and Chris. They have a little short scene. They at the toy store getting some toys for Lance's baby, for the grandbabies. Miss Nell standing 10 toes down on. Destiny says she ain't give Lance no coochie. He went and got some coochie somewhere else because men have needs and he don't owe her shit. I'm on Miss Nell's side. I'm on Miss Nell's side. If you talking to a man and y'all grown and y'all just talking and flirting and nothing is really going on, then why am I obligated to tell you that I got a baby on the way? I don't know. You would expect a man to do that, but I don't think he's obligated or he owes her something because she said that they hadn't talked since the reunion. So if y'all going weeks without talking to each other, I can see if you talking to a dude and y'all talk every day or even a few times a week. Y'all talk often. But if y'all don't talk for weeks on end, I don't have to call and tell you that I got a baby on the way. Bitch, we don't even talk like that. And last time I checked, you might have been humping on my god brother, Twan. We in Twan. We're going to see Twan next episode. So I don't think he owed her shit either. Anyway, then she starts telling him about the Tisha situation. And peep this, she was like, yeah, and Tisha said she's dealing with a lot with the rumors with her family and stuff. Miss Nell was giving Marceau grace, but you could tell by Chris Fletcher's expression. Chris Fletcher was like, "Como se llama?" What? Exactly. She was like, yeah, with the 20 girlfriends and da-da-da, but she don't have any proof, so, you know, she don't believe it. They're all just rumors, da-da-da-da-da. And Chris Fletcher said, the Martell interview wasn't enough? She don't believe that? Chris Fletcher know a lot more than he's telling us. This is how I know Chris Fletcher does dirt as well, because Chris Fletcher holds a lot of Martell secrets, and I think Chris Fletcher know a lot about Maurice and Marceau too. But one thing about the cheaters, and I heard that Huntsville is a very small town, they be seeing each other out or know the spots and shit. So they ain't finna drop a dime on you so you could drop a dime on them. They have some sort of loyalty. And I think they all started out with that loyalty. But Martell, I don't think Martell broke the loyalty. I actually think Marceau did. So when Marceau and Maurice meet and start talking about Marceau continuously coming at him, this was my whole thing. They all was cool. They all was the 3 bald head bitches on birth control out here cheating in the streets. When Martell first got popped, we gonna talk in some hood terms. When Martell first got popped for cheating and it first got on the show about him and Coleslaw and Orion, first of all, Martell was at Marceau because your wife keep talking shit and making it worse, talking about the batching BMWs and stuff like that. As all cheaters as one, keep your wife in check because she making my shit worse. I'm gonna make your shit worse if you don't tell your wife to shut the fuck up. Then on top of that, Marceau kept joking. In every confessional, it was always jokes, jokes, jokes. Even right before they got into it the last time at the field day, the reason why Martell ended up going at them most recently, because remember they was out playing, what was they playing? Pickleball or pickle? They was out doing something. And remember Marceau kept joking about him having his family and losing his wife and was joking and playing about the Trish situation. And Martell said, Marceau kept playing in Martell's face. I like Marceau a lot more than I like Martell, but you kept playing in his face. And all of them jokes then caught up. All them jokes, you kept joking. And now Martell on your ass. He on your ass and he on your brother ass. Exactly. And he like a pit bull. He ain't letting go. Let's talk about this thing with Maurice and Martell. So, I'm not sure why Marceau didn't have the conversation with Martell. It's given because Marceau and Tisha are trying to avoid this at all costs. Remember on the Instagram, they said they weren't going to talk about it. Tisha tried to go around it, but the producers probably are forcing them to talk about it now. Notice in that last scene, Tisha was the only one missing. Where the fuck was Tisha at when Kimmi, Maurice, and Marceau sat down to talk about what happened? Exactly. So we finally get Maurice and Martell. Now, initially when I seen the clips, I was like, Maurice playing mind games. He trying to make you out to be crazy. He needs help. He got mental health issues. I was like, oh, Martell is just not equipped to handle Maurice. Maurice, how you an attorney that can't win an argument? Riddle me that, Fester. Exactly. How the fuck you an attorney that can't win an argument against a man who read with his fingers and got a 64 IQ? I don't know. I don't get it, but it happened. Okay, child. So Maurice started out talking about something. I know you had a rough couple of months, and I'm concerned. Just projecting. Martell like, I ain't had a rough couple months. What you talking about? Give me a gin and tonic. Exactly. He like, nigga, life been good. What is you talking about? So Maurice comes in trying to manipulate the situation. Oh, I'm concerned about you. You had a rough couple of months. No, I'm straight. And Martell said, hey, I came in here. I was ready for this conversation. Whenever you get through, let's talk about it. So on, so on, so on, so on. So then he talks about how Marceau kept coming for him, which, like I said, he did. And then we didn't hear everything that went down when they got into it on the field day. And he said he could have fucked Tisha. Tisha was in the back of a Buick, busting it wide open for a dude named Bob. I don't know. But remember, after that, Tisha went on Carlos King and said that Martell was gay. She could go further. She didn't say allegedly. When Carlos King tried to get her to take it back, she wouldn't take it back. So your wife came in. That's my whole thing. You came in hot, Tisha, like, yeah, he said this, and you know how when she get her little Bessemer bounce, when Tisha get crunk, get her little Bessemer bounce, and yes, and I could go further, and okay. Well, that's what you signed up for. Marceau, you was doing all that snickling and giggling and shit. And them confessionals talking shit about Martell. So why are y'all surprised that this man came out shooting? Then he told Maurice, he said he did the trailer for the Harry Hines interview because he wanted them to call and apologize to him. or say something so he wouldn't release the trailer. But because we know how prideful Marceau is, that didn't happen, so that's why he did it. Then he said he was mad at Maurice because Maurice like, why I called her stray. And he was like, well, I didn't tell anything. That was that girl's truth. And you called her stray because I feel like you could have been a mediator and tried to talk to your brother about coming at me like that. And at the reunion, when I was looking to you for, you know, for guidance or some support, you just turned your head and didn't help me out. First of all, it's delusional for Martell to think that Maurice really gonna go against his brother for you. Now, he can have a conversation with him, but he's not. Marceau and Maurice gonna protect each other above all. That's one thing I do respect about them. You can tell those Scott brothers gonna ride or die with each other, right or wrong. I think Maurice will cross Marceau before Marceau will cross Maurice to protect his image, though. Anyway, then Maurice starts talking about the DUI case. This motherfucker said him and Kimmy was together. She dropped him off at Credit One. He stopped at Sedaris' house. And I guess that's why, Kimmy, you woke up in the middle of the night and went back to Credit One to see if your man was there because it was 5 o'clock in the morning. Your man wasn't at home. I don't know. Anyway, so then he says he stops at Sedaris' them house, or stopped with Sedaris' them. Then he leaves. So you stopped at Sedaris' them house for like 5 to 6 hours? Black clothes at what, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning? You got, the accident happened at what, 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, girl, I guess. Anyway, so then he says he hit a car. No, he said, I hit an animal, an endangered species. He said, I hit an animal, a pole, and a tree. Hold on. So was it a pole, a tree, and the animal was climbing up the tree? How the fuck? Baby, when I tell you Martell was tickled pink, Martell had uncontrollable laughter to the point of tears. And it just sounded, he was like, it's like a story my 9-year-old would come up with. It was so outlandish. It was just like, child. First of all, why are you telling us this now, though? Because you ain't say shit when Mel, y'all was mad when Mel was talking about it. Maybe because of the lipstick aspect. Did Sedaris, did one of the dudes kiss you with lipstick? I don't know, child. This was very odd. I don't even know why Maurice mentioned it, because it sounded like a lie. We wasn't even thinking about your DUI. You just offering us lies at this point. And I don't like that. Anyway, so they get back to the story or whatever. And then they was talking about, well, some of the video was a lie. What part was the truth then? Because he said most of that was a lie. Most of it. Okay, so most is over 60%, I'm assuming. What part of it was the truth? So y'all went to Vegas together? The girl was there? So then Maurice asked him, did you pay her? How did you contact the girl? He said, I remembered her from Vegas because Marceau flew her out. And then they start arguing, and he was like, oh, so Marceau didn't fly her out? He said, I don't know what Marceau did, bitch. Marceau, I hope you called Maurice last night. And Kimmy, I know you want to play stupid, but you can't play this stupid. How Maurice said he don't know what Marceau did. Y'all was in Vegas together. What are you talking about? If you know that your brother ain't no cheater, or you don't know that girl, you would have been like, hell nah, he ain't fly that girl out. I ain't seen that girl. That girl wasn't with us. What is you talking about? That's what you would have said. If you never seen that girl, you would have said, hell no, he ain't fly that girl out. And Martell was like, no, you lying. You did have sex with her. We was all 4 out together. He did say they went to the club and all of that other shit. Girl, Maurice, like I said, I don't know how you a liar and you let Martell. And Maurice put his head down. First of all, Maurice started trying to gaslight him. What color was the carpet? What my dick looked like? I thought you said you was gambling. His attempt at gaslighting him with like minor details to try to invalidate his story didn't work out. Martell then hit him with the atomic bomb. You a lawyer, sue me. if you notice, go look at the scene, friend. When he said, if you a lawyer, sue me. And when they were arguing, Maurice puts his head down and it's a slight smirk. He has a slight smirk because he know, oh, Martell got me with that one. Go back and look at it. Come back and tell me if I'm right. No, seriously. So, Maurice failed miserably. Martell is 1,000% right. You an attorney. You out here, you wanted to sue that blogger when they said that you was involved in some criminal activity or something. You'd be threatening. Remember? I remember the video. You have 24 hours to take it down or I will... You want to sue everybody else, but you ain't gonna sue Martell for lying and saying that you was cheating on your wife, switch hitting with your brother with a Harry Hines girl down in Vegas. Let's not forget, Maurice, you the same one who lied on stage with your wife and said that you wasn't in Atlanta and you never met Ariane, and then later on Marceau posted the picture of you there. You didn't told us a bold-faced lie before. And Ariane said when y'all was down in Atlanta, y'all had big backs down there. That's what she said. Kimmy, you know he lied to your face because I remember you asked him about it that next season. But then you just threw that under the rug like your man didn't just lie on stage and claim that he wasn't in Atlanta and never met Ariane until we seen the picture that Ariane took of them in Atlanta when Ariane said they had big backs there. You cannot make this shit up. Girl, I guess. So my whole thing is, if they do bring Ariane on, she gonna blow up the Scott spot. She gonna make Tisha look like a damn fool, Kimmy look like a damn fool, or even more of a fool, because I'm not sure. I can't wait to see Tisha Tuesdays now. Now, Tisha, we got some. I want to know after seeing that, what do you think? Have Kimmy on. Kimmy, after seeing that conversation, what do you think? Why is Maurice not trying to sue this girl for defamation? And Marceau, why did your brother just throw you under the bus and act like he ain't know whether or not you flew that girl out? Tisha, you better check them credit card records. I don't know. Anyway, the conversation was a bust. Martell laughed, snickered, and giggled right in Maurice's face, had Maurice looking like a damn lying-ass, bald-headed-ass fool from the DUI story where he hit a cat, hit the pole, hit the tree. Shut the... But his charges was dismissed. Switch hitting with his brother down in Vegas. I don't know, child. Tell me what y'all... Who won that little face-off? It's giving Martell won the face-off. Exactly. I don't know. So then Maurice meets with Kimmy and Marceau to tell them what happened. Like I said, notice Tisha wasn't there. Because Tisha don't want to keep diving into her man cheating on her with the Harry Hines girl. I think Tisha knows it's true and she's just embarrassed, and why constantly keep getting embarrassed? Anyway, so Maurice starts out and basically lies and says Martell told him the reason why he put him in it was because he was mad about the reunion stuff. That's not the total reason. And he said that the girl is the one who put you into it because she was telling her story. Then he's like, oh, I'm concerned about his mental health. Marceau was like, fuck his mental health. That is the attitude that Maurice should have. But Maurice is trying to take the mental health role because he know that Martell will prove it to him. He know that Martell telling the truth. It's so obvious that Maurice is lying. It's crazy. I don't know why they chose him to lead this brigade. But anyway... Kimmy's sitting there looking stupid as hell. He starts joking about, I asked him, have you seen my dick? And they like, it was so awkward. And it was so, that scene was so awkward. You know how you at a table, you know how people talking and everybody know it's a lie, but everybody got to act like it ain't a lie? That was the face it was giving. And Kimmy was sitting over there like, ooh. May I never get half 100 and be this stupid. Please, Lord. Amen. Oh my, may I never, ever be as stupid as Kimmy. The way she looked, if Fool was a person in pink feathers, it would be Kimmy Scott. Oh my God. The way her face, that cheesy expression on her face, Girl, Kimmy, if you watching this back, friend, I want more for you. Well, you ain't my friend because I never fuck with a bitch like you. But that is crazy. Did y'all see how foolish Kimmy looked in them pink feathers and that Christian Dior headband? $500 being a fool for this little nigga Maurice. Right in her face, laughing with his brother about it. Because both of them know they lying. I don't know. Anyway, what else happened? Anyway, Marceau finally was like, no, Martell don't want resolution. He want to fight. They having like a little boys get together, I guess, to try to resolve it. Marceau don't want to resolve shit because, like he said, Martell wants to fight. Kimmy sitting there looking like such a fool. Such a fool. Kimmy is the biggest fool. I would have never guessed that Kimmy would have turned out to be this much of a fool. But I guess anything to say you a wife and you a Scott, because we know how desperately you wanted to be a Scott when we first met you. Ugh, I guess, child. Anyway, so that was the end of the episode. Tell me what y'all thought about the episode. On the next episode, they're going to have they male outing. Nell is talking to Lance about how Destiny played in his face. I'm sure, especially with the twine stuff. You was trying to talk to my god brother or whatever. Like, no. Destiny and Lance gonna finally have a sit down. And Lance gonna tell Destiny, I ain't owe you shit, bitch. Destiny is definitely using Lance as a storyline. Because outside of talking to Martell, what has Destiny brought to this season? Nothing. We don't know nothing about your son, your business. We don't know shit. Exactly. Anyway, then we talk about, they had a little male outing. They're asking Ken about the Trish thing. We're over it. But he said if she does get a divorce, who's to say that he's ready to marry her? I don't know about all that. And then Will drops the bomb to Martell and say, yeah, I know Ariane. Or I don't know, they went to the gym, they was training. I wish I would have known this before I interviewed Will. I could have asked him about Ariane. Exactly. I need to slide in his DMs like, what's up, boy? Tell me what's up with you in Dandruff. Do y'all think Will bust down Dandruff? Do y'all think Will got with Ariane? And do y'all think Martell gonna click out? I wonder how sassy. Hold on. Martell, you thought it was cute last season when they was talking about the gym and the Trish shit. So, Ken, did you get your homeboy? You like, oh, this nigga was playing in my face about Trish. Let me get Will, because I know Will know Ariane. And let me let my best friend play in your face about your side chick turned wife. Let's snickle and giggle, bitch. And I wonder how saucy Martell gonna get with Will, because Martell buff, but Will buff and he tall. Ooh, child. Okay, so yeah, Will, come on in the mix. Tell us about coleslaw. Do she slob on people's knives like corn on the cob? I don't know. Anyway, so that's what's gonna happen on the next episode. Tell me, did y'all like this episode? Were y'all here for the tea? How dumb is Kimmy on a scale from 1 to dumb as a motherfucker? This girl is crazy. Tisha still shading Miss Nell, so I'm assuming that they beef is never gonna stop. Destiny still has no point. No point Payton, exactly. I don't know why she's here. I guess she's gonna milk this little Lance storyline. And then Martell slaying the dog shit out of Maurice. Child, if they get coleslaw on here, and Martell and Maurice, and Martell and coleslaw drag the dog shit out of the Scotts for the rest of the season, would y'all be mad? First of all, I would be mad that y'all would have this bitch on Mel's show. But I kind of wouldn't be mad if she dragged the dog shit out of the Scotts, because guess what? That's y'all karma for dragging Mel all of these years and trying to expose her shit. I'm glad Mel gone now, because we can expose y'all shit. Let's talk about y'all shit. Hello, exactly. Anyway, so that's all I got, friend. I'll be dropping a video later on. We're gonna talk about the Tamar and Mendici stuff, girl. K Michelle, and all of the other things. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like this video, make sure your notifications on, comment so we can snickle and giggle this Sunday, because I got some shit to do, but I still want to snickle and giggle. Exactly. Anyway, love you, friend. I'll talk to you later. Bye.